If you like movies, check out my movie review channel. Every single movie title you see on the screen, I have a video about coming out within the next 2 weeks. I'm uploading a video every day for 2 weeks, so definitely make sure you're subscribed there. The link is in the description below. I got some other stuff on there too, some like breakdowns of certain scenes I like and things like that, so check it out. Let's talk about Trent McDuffie, why don't we? The rookie corner for the Chiefs, so I think had a really good day. He was one of PFF's highest rated players in this game. He had one very notable not so great play. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to start off with this one. This is a great hustle play, and one of the things that I just noticed when watching just tape in general, before I even started this video and was just watching tape, was McDuffie was just seemingly everywhere. McDuffie was making plays left and right, and at least impacting plays, even if it wasn't always him actually making the play. He was still coming close in areas. Let's talk about a play where he realistically shouldn't have an impact on, because he's going to drop back and play a deep safety role. However, Jalen Hurts is going to hand the ball off to a halfback. So, okay, play's probably over, and not just that, there's someone who's meeting him very far out to block him. So, okay, if the ball gets ran that far down the field, 10 yards down the field, then he should be able to make a tackle, but you're not expecting him to really have too much of an impact. But watch him shed this block, and he's going to rush in, and he is going to be able to make a tackle, and they only gain a yard on that play. That's a great play from Trent McDuffie. I mean, so many things he did so well. First, he just sold the fake pretty well, I thought. That didn't impact the play, but just the little things setting up to the play, I thought he did a good job of. And then to read the play, to shed the block, and then to make a great tackle after taking a great angle to make that tackle, just really good stuff. Also, something like this, again, his ability to make tackles and to make plays not just in coverage, but in other ways was very impressive, and not something we typically talk about with Trent McDuffie, but it would happen here where it's going to be it's a screen pass to Kenneth Gainwell, the halfback. That's what they're doing, and you see, there is a tight end to block Trent McDuffie here. Watch how when this play begins, this is Dallas Goedert, and he's in pretty good position to block McDuffie. I mean, you honestly look at this, and you think that the only, there's going to be a safety who makes the tackle, probably, right? These seem to be pretty good blocks. Now, one thing worth mentioning is one of the reasons why one of the blocks is good is because it was actually early. It ended up being offensive pass interference because of the early block, but that's not McDuffie. That's going on elsewhere. Watch McDuffie make the sidestep and still gets over and makes a great tackle. I mean, that's really good stuff from McDuffie to be able to get there. Again, didn't matter. The play didn't end up standing, but it's still just a good example of what he was able to do well in this one, I think. Now, let's talk about the negative. There was a negative, and even this negative, I have to say, watching the broadcast doesn't do it justice. I think the All-22, it does not look as bad, where what's going to happen is it is a, two safety deep coverage, and you see that McDuffie is lined up on A.J. Brown. You see the route that A.J. Brown is running. So, Jalen Hurts is going to take the snap. He runs a play action, and you see that right here, A.J. Brown's going to go towards the corner of the end zone. That's where he's at. McDuffie is the one kind of trailing behind. There's a safety deep, but he's not really deep enough at this point. It's going to be tough. If Hurts throws this ball down the field, he's going to then have to go from completely stopped and facing towards the left side of the screen to then turning and running all the way towards the right side of the screen, while A.J. Brown is currently already at a top speed. So that's just difficult. So even though there's a few yard buffer, it's really not enough in this situation. McDuffie is currently behind A.J. Brown, but at least he's running in that direction. However, he basically can't play the ball at this point. He has to play A.J. Brown. He has to look over towards A.J. Brown, because if he looks back towards the ball and he's wrong about when it's thrown, then it's just going to be an easy touchdown. So as you see, watch McDuffie try to stay with A.J. Brown, and by the time he finally turns his head around, the ball was basically right there. So well, yes, when you see the broadcast, it looks like he was looking at the ball and just horrifically misplayed it, but really he didn't have a great look at the ball because he was a half step behind, when really, to me, that's a safety problem, not so much him, in my opinion. So while he had a shot at it for sure, that's a really tough play, and it would have been like an amazing play had he been able to make a stop. And also this one where he was able to actually prevent a very big play from happening by Philadelphia, where what's going to happen is it's a zone coverage play, and you see where he's supposed to cover. You see how he's supposed to cover, kind of the top right-hand corner of the screen. He's the one who I put in white. And you also see how this concept could cause him some trouble, right? is he supposed to cover? Is he supposed to cover A.J. Brown on this play, or is he supposed to cover the tight end who's running just underneath his zone? Well, it'd be pretty difficult to see A.J. Brown's route and get back there and cover it, I think, because A.J. Brown's going to fake as though he's running to the offense's right, which makes sense. He's currently lined up towards the offense's right. So typically, when there's only one eligible receiver on your side of the field, well, that's typically the guy you're going to pay attention to. But look at how for McDuffie, he does. He pays attention to that, right? That's where he's looking. At this point, you would think that if you're Jalen Hurts, hey, this play is working. We're going to get A.J. Brown completely wide open towards the top of the screen, but this is just where the good play of Trent McDuffie is going to come in. As you see, McDuffie finally reads it. I don't want to say finally, because he eventually reads it, and he gets in position to force Jalen Hurts to have to make a tough throw. It was the safety who made the play, but the only reason why the safety could make the play was because Brown couldn't completely flatten out the route because McDuffie had read the play and gotten back there. That was an easy catch and an easy big gain had McDuffie really, just done a normal play on that one. Like, a solid play would be him running over the middle, which I wouldn't have blamed him for at all had he gotten fooled on that. It was just a really smart play call and an even smarter read by McDuffie, in my opinion. And again, stuff like this, where this is really the value of having that good nickel corner, is you see, one of the issues is, if you're a nickel corner, you have to be able to tackle, right? That's kind of one of the things that you have to be successful at, and McDuffie is, where this concept, designed to beat McDuffie, you have multiple players who are going to kind of run over the middle, and the hope is that that's where McDuffie pays attention to, which again, makes sense, right? You have 3 eligible receivers on that side of the field, so you would think that the middle linebacker looks over there along with the other 2 corners who are on that side of the field, and you each cover one of those 3 guys. That's typically how you expect this to work. But with Gainwell running underneath, that's, a route that can absolutely work and can get touchdowns. However, when Hurts takes the snap, he's going to eventually look towards Gainwell, and, it appears to be working, but McDuffie just reads this play well. Watch him come in, and he's going to be able to, again, make an immediate tackle, and that's really the value of McDuffie and why he is such an important part of this Chiefs defense. Everyone talked about the linebackers of the Chiefs, but part of it, and why they're so difficult at allowing yards over the middle, why it's so hard to get yards over the middle, is definitely in part McDuffie, and he does everything, right? The coverage was really good, I thought, from him. I thought that he had a really good coverage day, but it wasn't just the coverage that he was able to do successfully. There were so many other things. His ability to tackle was, I think, a massive aspect, and maybe something that even I probably didn't look at enough heading into the Super Bowl, because it is a very valuable piece. And, they couldn't just say, let's run to where the nickel corner is, because he could come in and make plays. And in fact, at times they were running away from him because he could come in and make so many plays. You can't really run these passing concepts in his direction because he's reading this play so well. But at the same time, this is kind of what the Eagles did all season. And in hindsight, part of maybe what we should have thought about as a tough matchup is the fact that the Eagles would, they love to do those throws over the middle and really struggled at getting that done in this game. Now, they still put up a ton of points because they're really good and great on the outside as well. And there's plenty of reasons why they put up a lot of points, but there were still some good performances on defense that prevented them from putting up more points. And one of those good performances was Trent McDuffie. And in a game like this, where every point mattered, having someone who can come in and make those types of plays absolutely mattered as well. So, yeah. At least that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.